is the Mitsubishi Barberspan 500. The inaugural Barberspan 500 took place in 1977 and was won by the racing legend Bobby Althoff in a Chev Nomad. Over the years, the Reinecker family dominated, with the late Hendrik Reinecker winning 3 times and his son Arpie winning a record 6 times. Reigning production vehicles champions Neil Woolridge and Kenny Skolthammer picked up the laurels in 1998, 99 and 2000. Now look at the top 10 starters for Saturday's 506-kilometer haul. The 2 factory Nissans occupy the top 2 places, followed by 10 special vehicles before the next production vehicle gets underway. Sunrise over Barberspan as the crowds wait in eager anticipation for the action to begin. The smiles and idle chatter among the drivers merely mask the pre-race tension. Time for a quick goodbye and some last-minute adjustments before the start of the Mitsubishi Barberspan 500, made up of 2 tough 253-kilometer loops with a service point at Leopan. There is a large entry made up of 4 Fords, 19 Toyotas, 9 Nissans, 3 Colts, 4 Pajeros, 2 Isuzus, 4 Land Rovers, 1 Chevrolet, and 1 Jeep, with more than 20 special vehicle entries. From the start, crews head through a muddy section, farmlands and bushveld to Setlapole before heading back to the service point. Then it's another of the same before the finish at Leopan.
In the time trial we had a few problems with that, but luckily we're starting quite far up the field. We're starting second behind Hannes, and I think we're about 45 seconds behind him. So I think in the beginning it's going to be good for us, but it's going to be a problem for London guys. We'll have to see. I mean, you can't take any chances with that dust and hit stuff.
And what are Hannes Grobler's views of his young teammate, Camille de Villiers?
I'm very impressed with him, and I think more of the other off-road guys are more impressed. He took like a duck to water, and I think he's going to go far, and I think he's going to be a guy to be reckoned with this whole year. And I think he's going to be up in the front all the time.
At this type of pace that we were riding at yesterday, blistering pace, a lot of things happen, a lot of fallout, a lot of mishaps. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it always does, and so we'll see what happens. We'll just take it easy for a while and pick our way through if we can.
While there's no tension for the prolific bird life at Barberspan, the same cannot be said for the crews as Hodler and Leek come under starters' orders for the Mitsubishi Barberspan 500. 3, 2, 1, and they off with the V6 Nissan engine at peak RPM. Camille de Villiers and Francois Jordan are up next as we go on board the Nissan Hardbody Super Truck. Thick dust envelops the start line and gives a clear indication of the poor visibility crews like the Chevex and the V-Motors Chenoweth will have in the early stages. Thereafter, the action was thick and fast as one vehicle after the other left the start line, sometimes only seconds apart. Lawrence and Para Duplessis are delvers or diamond diggers in the region and know the area and conditions well. A good result was expected from the brothers. Hard-charging newcomer to off-road racing, Greg Dowse, was next away, followed by Lichtenberg 400 runners-up, Greg Harvey and Boy Stone in the Queen Motors Fez Jimco. Bodo Berthold elected to drive the first loop, and son Gary the second loop, and had Stratton Quirk to contend with in the Ford Ranger. Disappointment for the Corn-Baked Foods team, as they're forced to retire their brand new Jimco before the start of the race. Reigning special vehicle champion Shamir Variawa explains.
We've been having problems with the oil coolers. We've changed 4 or 5 oil coolers in the past 2 days. Trying to cool the motor down, but obviously we can't do that. I think it's something to do with timing as well. Right now it's too late to figure it out because the race already started. But we'll sort it out and be back for the next race.
A muddy section confronts leaders Hodler and Leek, but no problems for them as the Nissan powers its way through the section. On board with de Villiers and Jordan in the second Nissan as they head for the muddy section and also sail through without any problems. Four-wheel drive certainly helps. The Chevex, with Francina driving, hold a slender lead over Henry Kirstein and René Juster in the DDS Raceco, with the Duplessis brothers not too far behind in the Porsche-powered Chenoweth. Dowse and VZ Van Zyl follow closely in the M&E Glass race car. Harvey and Stone would roll their Jimco into retirement soon after the section, fortunately with no injury to the crew. Swift took the high road and avoided the mud. He too would retire early in the race with engine problems. Overall victory has eluded Yaki Hubert and university lecturer Hayes Klein in the Jojo Tank's four-wheel drive Beetle. Could this be their chance? On board with Reneker and Houghton in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser as they enter the muddy section and bury the truck in the mud. Former quad racers Mark and Peter Brekel just make it through the mud. Help should be on its way in the form of Schumi van Vieren and brother Clinton, but teammate Reneker waves them on. Dominating Class D is more important than losing time by helping the stranded Reneker. John Moore takes the high line and there's more drama. Cliff Weigelt and Johan Smallberger also get bogged down and right next to Reneker as almost the entire field goes streaming by. Cliff Barker surely counts his blessings as he passes two arch rivals in the sweet-sounding Barker Performance Products Land Rover. Even Hoppy Reneker decides to muck in an effort to free the stricken Land Cruiser as help arrives for Weigelt in the former Jean-Pierre Joubert. Eventually, Reneker's nephew, Hendrik, manages to pull the works Land Cruiser free of the mud, but no such luck for the hapless Weigelt. Weigelt and Smallberger lose a lot more time trying to extricate the N1 4x4 Toyota from the mud before the third N1 4x4 entry of Harvey van Deventer arrives and lends a hand. The rest of the field goes streaming by before Weigelt and his teammates get going again. 90 minutes into the race and a surprise leader. The Chenoweth of the Duplessis brothers has moved from 5th to 1st, but breathing down their necks is the Nissan hardbody of early leaders Hannes Kobler and Richard Lee. They lost their advantage while replacing a flat wheel, while teammates De Villiers and Jordan were effectively out of the running after damaging the steering and suspension of their Nissan in an unmarked Donga. Much excitement for the local population as the Chefex, with Franz Senior driving, arrive on the scene in 3rd place in the immaculately prepared Porsche-powered B Motors Chenoweth. Yaki Hubert and Pace Lane have moved from 11th to 4th and are closing on the leading bunch. However, they would later retire with mechanical problems. Local youngsters wait in eager anticipation for the arrival of the monster vacation van's Jeep of Cyril van der Merwe and Scott Abraham, which has made up a whopping 25 places and was now 6th overall and 3rd in the production vehicle category after only 19 minutes of racing. That's quite some driving from the veteran. Horsepower of a different kind as Schumi van Vieren looms into view in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser, a comfortable leader in Class D. Schumi and brother Clinton have been racing off-road since their youth. Bugs Carolyn and Henny Testega have come to grips with the ex-Dakar Mitsubishi Pajero and were content to be sitting in 7th position midway through the first 253-kilometer loop, but had ex-motorcyclist Nick Harper to contend with. 8th overall and 2nd in Class D, Hein Kobler and Gerard Prinsloo in the Nissan hardbody. A grandstand view of a different kind for some intrepid local spectators. The big Ford Ranger, Woolridge and Stolthammer looms into view in 14th place after starting 33rd. More action on the way. Kirstein and Juster have dropped down the field and now have a gaggle of pursuing vehicles behind them. Class B leader Johan van Jaarsveld, followed by Class D contender Nas LaRue in the Age of Colt, and a hard-charging Arpie Reneker, who would retire a half an hour later with a broken rear suspension. The Class E battle was being won at this point by Manfred Schroeder and Jack Peckham in the Works Ford Ranger, which made its debut in last year's Roof of Africa. Chang Makakaneni and Evan Hutchinson started 79th in their Hellman Worldwide Logistics Jimco and had made up 35 places, but were closely followed by Weigelt and Smallberger, who were now faced with having to make up for time lost while stuck in the mud shortly after the start. Camille de Villiers effected running repairs to the damaged Nissan and was now on a charge through the field. hours into the race, and a large crowd of spectators, service crew and team management await the arrival of the leaders at a road crossing on the Dallarayville-Settler Folly Road. Much to the delight of the Nissan management, Bobler and Leake emerge from the bush in the lead with the Chepex hot on their heels.